Hey guys, so we're going to talk about customer videos. They're pretty important because a lot of times, especially where I live, your customer may be dealing with the fact that they don't live in the house. It's a rental property. So a better description of what you're going to do and using a video to do that can be really helpful for them to get a grand scope of the work you're going to do. And it also helps you develop the price points that you're working with, helping them understand just the gravity of what you're going to be doing. It's also important for people who have the house as a second home, but they're somewhere else. And sometimes your schedules can't meet up. Like if you can meet with the customer, that's most ideal because you can literally explain everything you're going to do. The customer has a good understanding of that, and they're going to be able to understand what you're going to be doing, and there's no question. And later, when it comes time to pay, you did exactly what you said you were going to do. You cleaned up the way you said you were going to do it, and they understand how much effort went into the job that you did, and that helps you build the value of your cost. So I really think these videos are important. I'm going to show you one more that I just did for another customer and let you see that and kind of help you to understand, how it works and what it does. And I will let you know by the end of the video how it went as far as whether because I'm also expecting them to probably want to do more work. The secondary amount of work that's included in this video, I've added on about $300 worth of work, something that they didn't see that I see that I think will be helpful. And they're not here to make a decision. If they trust me, they might make that decision over the phone, and I'll be able to get the work done and we'll move on from there. So I'm gonna show you guys the video. You get to see how I express everything that I'm talking about, and then we will also let you know how it went as far as closing the deal, moving the sale along, and all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned, there's more to see. Hey, Mr. Nobles, my name's Lee with Arbor Now, and we're taking a look at your guys' tree real quick, and I just thought a video might help you out a bunch. So as you can see, all this is dead, and it's dead clear up into here. So I'll get it to zoom in if I can, but the dead is clear up here. So that's the end of it right there. It's about 30 feet of dead stuff that comes out, and it looks to me like this section of the trunk here is the dead section. So that's just what it looks like. For sure, this branch is dead completely. You can see the orange, all the foliage is orange. And then as you go up, it's the same thing. So it looks like what I've given you guys an estimate for is to remove this section pretty much all the way out. And as much of it is dead. But other things that a person might want to do is this tree is dragging on the roof of your garage, and there is a considerable amount of debris and dead stuff. It hasn't been trimmed in a very long time. And then, like I said, a lot of stuff hanging down on the garage. And if I go through your gate, we've already moved some of your chairs and things. This section right here is not too bad. This is, I wouldn't want it any lower than this. This isn't that bad, but as you move around the tree, it gets lower and lower. For this is way lower than you would want. As I walk up onto the porch, I can practically touch it, and that's not letting enough light in underneath. So the canopy light, the light that gets through the canopy, what's important is you're keeping root collar rot from taking advantage of the tree, and that's the biggest killer of trees in Oregon. So ultraviolet light kills those fungal spores. So it's important to get at least some light in there if you can. And we typically raise trees up like we do for parks to about 14 feet. So this is a little too low, and it could be, a few branches up as far as steps up concerned. This section, I don't know if this happened during the ice storm or something else, or maybe a snowstorm not that long ago, but all these branches hang down pretty considerably, and you can see that when I walk out here. It's at about my belly button. I'm pretty tall, but that's pretty low. And then you can see more of what's hanging down on the roof. So for roof to also get some exposure to light, to keep moss from growing as much, we typically would trim that up and at least give the roof about, preferably, best case scenario, we would give the roof about 8 feet of clearance, but in this tree situation, I would say 4 or 5 feet would be enough, because it only hangs over the very end, and then that would let enough light in from the south face. But if you raise the canopy on the tree, which would get rid of all the dead stuff on the inside, you can see a line that a person could follow that I think would look really symmetrically pleasing, aesthetically pleasing, and then it would make the tree look a lot nicer. There is going to be a hole where we're removing all the dead stuff on the other side, but I think this line would look really nice, and that's kind of more of what we talked about before. If you remove all these branches and clean this up, it's a lot of stuff, because when you look up in here, all this is dead, so it's all kind of unsightly, and the only thing that protects you from staring at it is the foliage on the outside. So raising up those branches and trying to make it more uniform and, like I said, more aesthetically pleasing, and also giving you the light penetration that you need, you're probably looking at, with the removal of the really big one, probably around $1,000. So just wanted to video that so that way you could see and get a more clear picture of what we're talking about. It's so difficult to describe this stuff over the phone, but hopefully that helps, and I'll send you this video, and that way you guys can take a look at it and decide what you want to do. Anyway, check back in. Thanks a lot. All right, so here's the update. Well, I just got off the phone with the customer, showed them the video, made a phone call back and forth, talked about a little bit stuff that they had questions about, and they've decided to go ahead with raising up the rest of the canopy. So in this one specific situation, here's an opportunity where we were able to explain what needed to happen better to the customer. They were able to see that and then make a decision to do more work. So, you know, on our side, we're making more money, which is good, but it's something that's necessary for the tree and also for, you know, their property, to make it look nicer. It's going to raise up the canopy off the shed. It's going to make it to where you have access all the way through, light can penetrate better, and it'll be cleaner because we'll be getting all that dead stuff out of there. When you look in it, it'll look nice. That is important. But what's also cool is, so yeah, we're making more money, but we don't have to make 2 trips, because a lot of our customers will decide later that they wanted to add something on, and if we didn't get a chance to talk about it, we would be coming back, you know, for right now, you know, setting all of this equipment back up, getting everything ready, moving things out of the way, and that whole setup can cost your customer more money. So it's smart to also explain that to them too. When they can afford it, some customers have a specific amount of money, they're budgeted, that's all they can spend. But then there's other customers who have the available in funds that they could spend on whatever they want. And as long as they see it as, you know, being a savings to do it now, which is this is the best time to do the tree work, because it's cooler right now, the trees are dormant, it's just better all around. So, but also for them, long-term money-wise, we get the job done now, we don't have to make 2 trips, they save the most money. So keep this in mind, use this in your discretion. It may not work for every customer, but we have a lot of people that are from out of town and they need this type of situation to help them make decisions. So I just wanted to show you one more example of how it worked out and let you guys be the judge. But to get out there, do some tree work, and I'll finish my lunch.